How will Tesla take care of Hardware 3 owners? Elon Musk and the executive staff have mentioned multiple times that if unsupervised full self-driving is not possible for Hardware 3 owners, they will be doing a hardware replacement. We heard some details about what would be involved, including microfactories to be able to swap out the computer, and not only the computer, but also the cameras. One thing nobody is talking about, however, is how exactly will it be done and how long or how much effort will be required. To really know and analyze what may be involved for a hardware swap out, it's really important to have AI4 next to Hardware 3 to look at them side by side. I know exactly the person, a 17-year-old gentleman named Koby Pierce, who is very brilliant and has built his own AI with neural nets to control various things. He has both of the boards and he has gone through this exercise multiple times. So let's go ahead and give Koby a call and we can speculate on the technical details involved for a hardware swap out. Hey Koby, let me show you what I've got going here. So I took apart my car and I have the computer here visible. I basically removed a bunch of stuff underneath here to be able to access Hardware 3.
Yeah.
And it is tight in here. It is really, really tight. There's not a ton of space. A lot of people are wondering about the form, fit, and function of Hardware 3 and what would be needed to be able to swap this out. Will it actually be AI4 or will it be some variant of it? And how will this possibly be done?
Yeah, so if you want to talk about that a little bit more, how they'll actually do it is they will not be able to fit the Hardware 4 computer inside where Hardware 3 goes, right? There's too many things that it doesn't work. They're going to have to be able to create I've been calling it version 4, Hardware 4 Lite, or Hardware 3.5, right? And it's going to be just an upgraded Hardware 3 chip with more efficient processors on board that can run at the full Hardware 4 performance level. So let's take one of those differences between the Hardware 3 and 4 computer is the memory, which is the main thing that Elon has been talking about. That is the issue, is the memory bandwidth. On Hardware 3, it is comprised of what's called DDR4, which is just a type of memory. And then on Hardware 4, they use what's called GDDR, which is graphics DDR, which is basically the type of memory. And GDDR is actually much more efficient in memory bandwidth. So what they can do is actually just plop on GDDR on the version 4 hardware Lite or Hardware 3.5 to end up actually getting the same memory bandwidth that they have on Hardware 4 in the exact same size. Another thing I'll mention is that the actual Hardware 4 chip itself is the exact same size as the Hardware 3 chip. The Hardware 3 and 4 chips, the actual dies, the processors themselves are identical size. It is actually all the surrounding components, which makes it a lot easier to make it more efficient, right? Because there's VRMs and there are just those connectors and a lot of other power management systems mainly that help the actual chip itself inside of it run. That is needed to make the chip run, and that's what needs to be smaller, not necessarily the chip itself. The chip itself is actually rather small already. Now they do need to work in some more power changes of the 12 volt to 16 volt conversion for Intel, which is very possible. And then also the infotainment side, which will be interesting to see how they end up changing that, if they convert that to AMD as well, or actually leave the Intel and just upgrade one side of it. But we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. How about the ports on the left? I mean, it looks like there's not really any ports on the bottom or top, but there's a lot of different ports on the right and the left. Will they have to add any extra ports to be able to support the newer cameras, for example, or how do you see that playing out?
Yeah, so the only thing I'll say about that is if there were to be a front bumper camera on Hardware 3.5, they would need to add another port. But other than that, the ports that are currently there can actually sustain the full bandwidth of a Hardware 4 camera. They just need what are called serializers, which changes the raw input stream from the cameras to, like a digital signal or analog signal that end up going to the computer that then calculates it. So they're going to need to upgrade those serializers to be able to handle the amount of bandwidth that's going through and to work for new cameras. So they will actually have to create a similar thing with the cameras, like hardware 3.5 cameras, which are the same megapixel rating and resolution, but with a different camera and a different, shall I say, processor, which is kind of the incorrect terminology, but that's the easiest way to think about it.
Okay, very cool. It looks like this is the connector here going through that little cavity to the camera. Will any of the wiring harnesses need to be changed out, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I do not think so. Based on the cameras are the major point of it. The rest can be done through the current cabling. The only cable that I think would need to be replaced is the cable between the Hardware 3 MCU and the actual Hardware 3 computer itself. Because that actual it's about a 6-inch cable, and they just go right in between. It's actually very easy to replace. That cable, I don't think, has enough bandwidth to be able to support having the B-pillar cameras in the MCU on the screen, which I think is very useful for the monitoring of unsupervised robotaxis. So I think that is the major point there. That, and then also the connectivity. I think that they may upgrade the Hardware 3 cars to have 5G like some of the Hardware 4 ones.
Okay, awesome. And this that I'm showing on screen here, that is the cooling going into the computer, correct?
Correct, yes.
Wow, very fascinating. So I think it's clear that due to the complexity with all the parts that just need to be simply removed and then put back together again, this is the reason why Elon mentioned microfactories being involved, because it would just take up way too much time. I mean, for me to remove all this stuff, it took about 30 minutes, but I've done it before. Ideally, to do everything, it would just bog down the service centers, and that's, I think, the biggest problem.
Correct. So, there's multiple things with that. Is maybe a camera connector isn't working, so they have to replace that, right? There's a lot of issues that can happen when taking it apart. You can break a cable. And then also to actually remove that computer, it is more difficult than just doing what you did there. So that can take upwards of an hour to be able to remove everything. And then also you have to put it all back together, which you have to double the time to do that. Then you have to configure it via software. And all of that, our service centers are already really, really overloaded. Like here in Kentucky, where I'm based, most stuff is about 2 weeks to a month out. And if they had to do these computer replacements and the camera replacements, because we haven't even gotten into the camera replacements, for every single car that has Hardware 3, that has FSD paid for, that would be a lot. And then again, they don't just want to do the computers that have been paid for, right? They want to be able to expand their Robotaxi enterprise and then also expand their FSD user, their base that wants to pay the $100 a month. And eventually, Elon said it's not going to stay there. So he wants to get that up to probably $250 or higher, right? So to be able to get people to pay for that, nobody's going to pay for that on Hardware 3 right now. Like $100, and I'm basically topped out for Hardware 3, right? That, I don't think it brings me much more value than that. Now with a Hardware 4 computer, it would bring me much more value than $100 a month. So I think that they will upgrade those vehicles. And then also, I think you're going to be able to pay for the upgrade yourself if you have not bought FSD. So I think it's probably going to be in the range of $2,000 to $4,000.
I agree with you. It makes a lot of sense from Tesla's standpoint to be able to have a robotaxi fleet, to be able to basically purchase back or buy back these used cars and then deploy them just from a numbers standpoint. Because if you imagine in rural Kentucky, for example, just as a case in point, it would take quite a bit of time for a robotaxi, I would imagine, to arrive there quickly. And the whole point of a robotaxi network is that someone a car would, not someone, but some car would show up very, very quickly. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I will say to be a devil's advocate, they produce vehicles very, very quickly, especially with Cybercab. It's going to be much more efficient than most likely upgrading a hardware 3 car. So there is, the haters' perspective of they're waiting until these cars have 300,000 miles and they're about to be junked and totaled before Tesla has to upgrade them. I don't think that's the reason that they're waiting so long. I think it is truly an engineering problem. But that is another point: is that the robotaxi fleet itself, I think that hardware 3 cars will be able to, but I don't think that they will necessarily want them to at that point. I think it's going to be more of a driver assistance or personal unsupervised rather than joining the robotaxi fleet. Again, in our talk that we did up in Michigan recently together, I think it was Iowa Tesla guy talked about, do you really want somebody in your car while you're not using it during the day? And the likely answer to that is no, right? And most of these vehicles that are being used on the hardware 3 side are actually just being used by regular people day to day. They don't want to just send them out to make money, right? Now there's going to be the 1 to 2% of people that do want to do that, but at that point, we just give them a newer vehicle, like a Cybercab, or they can trade their vehicle in for a Cybercab. Hopefully the Cybercab is affordable enough to be able to do that. So that is the devil's advocate perspective. But I do think that they will do these upgrades just because of all those factors I mentioned previously.
I think there's going to be a cutoff point where Tesla will foot the bill for a certain percentage of hardware 3 owners, and then others they won't. For example, if somebody did not purchase full self-driving, they're going to have to pay some money to get the benefits of having a newer computer system. It's going to be an expense because these microfactories, when you hear microfactory, you think, oh, they have to build a whole factory from scratch. In my opinion, this could just be a warehouse or an empty building that you rent. I mean, it's not like these are going to be around forever. So Tesla could just rent a space out and they'd have a cookie cutter assembly system that they could just replicate and ship to that location that they've rented out and be able to, and it could, probably a series of vertically articulated robots that are moving parts in and out that have an automation assembly process already programmed in to be able to do this. In reality, to get this out, you need to remove this entire thing here, probably this piece here. It's a lot more to get up in there because it is very tight spacing. It's tough to move around in there.
Yeah, so another thing I'll mention is those assembly lines, they may not even be robot helped, right? They might just be humans. And I think that once you have kind of a cookie cutter design that you go, do this, do this, do this, do this, and you have one person that does that job over and over and over, it gets really efficient. So I think that just from the limited quantity that they're doing here, they could very much buy these facilities for robotaxi eventually, right? In areas that they want to expand to that they don't currently have, the regulation or they're not ready to completely roll it out yet, and they buy these warehouses. Then they use them for transitioning the hardware 3 to hardware 3.5, something like that, right? And then once they're done with those facilities, they turn them into robotaxi depots. That could be another thing, and I've seen that a lot. I think that's the original idea was from Spencer. I might be crediting the wrong person, but I think that was Spencer Scott's rule on Twitter or X. Sorry, but I think that's where that goes.
Well, very cool. Well, I look forward to continuing this discussion with you. It's absolutely fascinating, all the moving parts and the different things that are involved. And it's just really cool to see under the hood, for those that haven't seen before, what the hardware 3 computer system looks like under the glove box. And I'm excited for that future. Nobody knows when it will come. And it's been mentioned many times when unsupervised. If it can't achieve unsupervised, that's when they would start swapping these out. Thank you so much, Koby. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, of course. Have a great rest of your day, man.
Sure. And everybody give Koby a follow. He's on YouTube. He's very active on X and a lot of content. He has a really awesome podcast. Maybe, Koby, you can mention the name of your podcast and how people can find that.
Yeah, it's Our Full Self Future. You can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anything like that.
Very cool. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you later, Koby.
Yeah.
Now that my car is fully put back together again, I have to say that I'm very excited for the future of Tesla with their autonomous driving. Hardware 3 vehicles aren't completely left in the dust. There's enough benefit to Tesla and to the consumers for Hardware 3 cars to be upgraded. I'm excited for that time when unsupervised becomes possible, because that means I can drive downtown Chicago and do a swap out. So let me know down in the comments what you think this will involve. Will it be simple? Will it be difficult? How long will it take? I would love to hear from you. Make sure you give Koby a follow, and until the next one, have a great day.